Hey guys, welcome to my latest tutorial video. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how I draw the details around the eyelid, the same way that you see here already done on the left eye. I wanted to do the left eye first, just to make sure that I had the process figured out, and then by the time I got to the second eye, I could really show you guys how to properly do it. The first step that I'm doing here is just laying down the basic tones and values and shapes that I see in the reference picture, and I'm just using a firm makeup brush here and some pulverized charcoal powder from a compressed charcoal stick, General's 2B, 4B, or 6B. And I'm just going to be spending the next few minutes doing this process that you see here. Just trying to make it look as good as I can just with this tool first, with the charcoal and the brush. And then after I'm satisfied with this foundational layer, I can go in and erase some of these details that you see already done here on this left side. So now that I'm satisfied with the basic values that I've laid down with the brush, I'm going to use the Tombow Mono Zero Eraser here and just add in some of these whiter details. They're not all perfectly white details, but I'm just very lightly going into this layer of charcoal powder and just adding in some very subtle lighter details to add the texture of the skin of the eyelid. And you'll see here that I'm adding again a little bit more charcoal powder because I removed a little bit too much to the left with the eraser, so I'm just adding it a little bit back in so that I can even that out. And what you're going to see me do here with the graphite pencil, this is a HB pencil, I'm just adding in a little bit more definition around the top of the eyelid here, and you're going to see me draw some darker lines in between these little white highlights that I erased in just a second ago. And what I'm doing here is I'm taking a black ultrafine Posca acrylic paint marker, and I'm very carefully drawing over this line to make it entirely black. And the reason I'm doing this as well is because when I go over this with the brush later, it's not going to erase this line because the paint is going to be stuck there. And now that I've already erased some of the medium to light highlights with the Tombow, you can have a look at the reference picture and see if there are a few even whiter spots that you want to highlight. And I like to use the Posca white Posca acrylic paint marker for this. I like to use this tool very sparingly because it almost always looks better to erase the details in than it does to use the white marker. But in this case, I'm just putting very small white dots, very small white lines, so it's quite suitable for this. And then once you're satisfied with that, you can keep alternating back and forth between adding some darker details like I'm doing now, adding some layers of lighter details with the eraser once again. And if you notice some more white spots that you want to add in, of course you can go back in and add those. This is really just a trial and error thing. There's no perfectly right way to do this. Like I said, I really just figured out this step myself when I figured this out when I did the left eye. And here I'm just adding some final touches. I see there's some darker details that are missing, so I'm just adding these in on top of what I just did. Layering is very important. And that pretty much concludes the video. Thanks so much for watching.